name is Rebecca Irabo. Welcome to another episode on The Talk with Rebbe. The Talk with Rebbe is a program whereby we welcome guests from different walks of life to come right here to share their experiences, to come right here to share their stories, so that someone out there can listen and learn from their mistakes, failures, and successes. Last episode, we had a guest on the show who was able to share his life experiences with us about how he wrote JAM for 4 years before gaining admission into the higher institution, and how he stayed back at home after 4 years before he got his desired job. We were able to learn a lot from his story, and today on this episode we have another guest on the show who is going to share our experiences, our life experiences with us, so that someone out there can hear and listen and also learn from our story in order to make better life decisions for themselves. So I'll be introducing our guest right now. I would like to employ all our viewers out there to listen attentively to our story so that they can learn something from it. So I'll be introducing our guest right now. Hello, good morning. Hi, I'm so happy to have you on the show, The Talk with Rebbe. Thank you for leaving the comfort of your home to join us on this program today. It's something selfless, it's something it's something done out of love, and we are so happy that you are here on the show to share your story so that someone out there listening can learn from it. So I'm so glad to have you. So can you kindly introduce yourself to our viewers and tell us a brief thing about yourself, what you do, and just introduce yourself generally.
Okay. Hi, I'm Jegede Oluwatola Comfort, and I am the creative director of Tefi Dresses, a fashion brand dedicated to the modern woman. I'm also a student. I'm a master's student. We are currently studying community development and social works because this is my passion. Fashion is my passion. My community, empowering my community and seeing that the community becomes better is also my passion. So yeah, you get to know more about me as we continue. Thank you.
Alright, Tolani, we are so happy to have you. You're welcome once again on the show. And you're a superwoman, actually. I'm so proud of you. And owning a brand and doing it in order to empower women is something that is super, something that is so cool. So we're so happy to have you on the show, The Talk with Rebbe. So we are going to start right now. I'd just like to tell you that The Talk with Rebbe is a program where you get to be yourself. It's a program that you have to just be yourself. You have to be natural. Just let it flow. Whatever you want to say, you don't hold back. Nobody's coming here to say, oh, this is this is that. It's a program whereby we tell real life stories. We do not fabricate any issue here. We tell you what we've been through and how we were able to, pass through that phase of our life. So just be yourself and let it flow. Be emotional if you have to be. So over to you, Tolani. We'll be listening to you. I will be listening to you, and the viewers out there are watching and listening to everything that you want to say. So it's up to you now, Tolani. You are listening.
Okay. So I would start by saying life comes with different faces, and for yourself and someone else, your story may be completely different. There's this Yoruba proverb that says 20 friends cannot play for 20 years. I think this is because for every year or for every life chapter that you find yourself, people experience different things. And I would say one of the life-changing moments of my life was in 2019. On the 2nd, I lost my mom. And I would say that was when I started to experience life, and it was a different process. Aside the emotional aspect of becoming an orphan, it brought a lot of challenges to myself and my loved ones. So I would say when that happened, I was looking at myself and I felt stranded in life. Before then, I had started business. I started my business and I was growing it. Then I was running my hair business. But then, having to live with family, it became a different chapter entirely. And the truth is, if you don't support yourself and if you don't believe in yourself, it's very easy for you to lose focus of what you want to achieve or where you see yourself. I remember then when I was running my business and I was asked to stop running my business. I was told to stop running business and then go into to go learn tailoring. This was not my passion. This was not something I wanted to do. I was not interested in it. I was clear about that. I was not interested in it. But what I did not realize was that me having to say I wanted to follow my passion was going to be a problem. And yes, it was a problem. But aside that, I also wanted to go for my master's degree. I knew I did not want to stay at home, and I knew that if I had to stay too long, I was probably going to lose control or lose focus of my dreams and then just accept whatever life brings at me. But um, right at the back of my mind, I knew this was what I wanted, this was what I wanted to achieve. It was very difficult having to find my voice because then everyone just felt like we had no choice. Why should we decide to do whatever we wanted to do? Not just doing something bad. I mean, just picking up yourself and saying you want to do this because this is what you are interested in. It became an issue. So this thing I'm talking about was something that actually I went through. It was a trying time for me. Then when I said I wanted to go for my master's degree, I had just saved up all my alawi, and my service was going to the service was going to come to an end very soon. I had my alawi saved before I became vocal about it. Then I purchased the form already, and then when I said I wanted to go write my exam, it was an issue. They told me to drop the program, that I shouldn't bother about it, that why should I even say I want to go for a master's degree, But then I said I wanted to do this thing. Anyways, I took a few things and I headed to Unilag to go prepare for my exam. On the first night of getting to where I wanted to stay, I received several messages that I had been thrown out for for choosing to disobey. I mean, I practically wrote the entrance exam. I missed tears. I cried, and it was a very disturbing period for myself. And then I just knew I wanted to do it anyways. And I knew that if I did not take that step at that particular point in time, I probably may never get a chance to do it. And also, I knew that I needed to take charge of my life. I needed to be the anchor of my life, knowing full well that what I wanted to do was something that was going to propel me in the destination of everything I wanted, everything I had always wished for. So, doing that and then doing business, like these two things were practically things that they did not want. And when the master's thing came up, everyone told me that why should I say I want to go do my master's? Like, why on it? And I said I was going to sponsor myself. Even at that, it was still an issue. And I was told from the get-go that I was not going to receive any form of support from anybody. And I said, okay, no problem. So this thing kind of made me realize that, I may actually be alone in this life. Not alone, but I felt like I needed to take charge and not have to depend on anybody, to take decisions or to make some major decisions concerning myself and my future. So when I did that and then I continued with my business, at some point I became scared. Even before school resumed, I was already contemplating just forfeiting it. Even when I gained the admission, I was considering forfeiting it because no one seemed interested in it. No one seemed interested in even hearing it. I did not receive any, even if it wasn't the financial support. Sometimes you just need someone to tell you, I'm proud of you. We need to hear that, I like what you are doing, to encourage us, and then even make you feel like at least you are getting it. But no, I didn't receive any kind of thing like that. And also for my business, I would say in business I've gone from selling this to selling that to selling this to selling that, and this is because I had to learn how to adapt. I had to learn to adapt to my community needs and what is available to me at a particular time. the opportunity I have now was not the same as what I had last year or last 2 years. I think everything keeps evolving, we keep getting better at it, and I would say if there's anybody out there that wants to do anything and you're scared to do it, and you know what, deep down within yourself, that what you want to do is something you want to do for your future, it's something that will make you feel happy, you have to understand, you have to learn now that if you make everybody happy now, you are going to end up being sad. And at the end of the day, everyone is going to forget. Nobody goes about thinking about you 247. You are the one who goes about with your thoughts, with your feelings, with your feeling of accomplishment, or your feeling of not being able to, not having accomplished anything. So you have to make up your mind. You should learn to be strong for yourself. You have to learn to be responsible at it. When you want to, it's very easy to lose yourself because, oh, everybody, nobody wants to support me, and then you go AY. No, you have to control yourself. So even before then, before I decided to go to school, there were different thoughts like, oh, how am I going to leave the grips of these people? At some point I felt like, should I get married? But I knew there that getting married was not the solution. It wasn't going to be the solution. It wasn't going to make me happy. And I did not want to just change the size of my dreams because of I needed to just find a quick escape. No, I decided to do what was honorable to myself and my future. Most importantly, not to anybody but myself first off. I did that, and I would say I've not regretted doing anything of such. And my relationship with my family members has been cordial ever since. So if I had decided to shrink my dreams just because I wanted to please them, I probably would be sulking and then go about hating everybody, and then just because I wanted to keep it cordial with them as I did, and that would have been the sad one. So I would say you owe it to yourself to make responsible decisions for yourself. You owe it to yourself to make responsible decisions, because at the end of the day, happiness is what will keep you going, is what will give you the feeling of accomplishment. You need that to keep on going in life. Life is a journey, and you need to own your journey. Thank you.
Wow. This is an interesting story, and have been able to learn a lot, not just a few things. I've been able to learn a lot from everything that we have said, and it's something that I can most definitely relate to. At some point in life, you'll be stuck within doing things at the moment just because you have to survive, or doing things that make you happy, like following your passion, chasing your dreams and all that. And in most times, the fact that you have to do things that make you happy or follow your passion is always like the most difficult decision to make. But it has to take courage for you to be able to choose right.
Yeah.
And at some point you were almost losing your family members because they were bent on the fact that you had to obey them, so that to just make everybody happy and just oblige and do what they asked you to do. But you realize that it is your life, it is your journey. So nobody can actually, yes, they have the right to advise you, to guide you, but nobody actually has the right to to decide what path to follow in life. And that's really, it's a key point that you just highlighted in your story, that you knew that if you had pleased them now, later on nobody will care about you or how you live your life, because they are going to forget. Everybody has their own personal problems. You are going to be the one facing your own life problem. If you had done it to please your family members at that moment, at the end of the story, you will still be the one to suffer the consequences. So I just want to ask you that when you were going through this period, were you able to relate to a friend or someone that is close to you aside from your family to give you advice? Were you able to run to someone like a mentor, or someone that you look up to that was able to put you through, to advise you during this period?
Okay, so during this period, I had like support systems, not just one person. Okay, one of them is my cousin. She was really there, and she stood by me and told me that whatever anybody says, I should insist. Even at there was a time when I was telling her that maybe I should just forfeit this admission. Like I don't think it is worth it because let me just settle and just do what they want me to do. But she kept encouraging me that I didn't work all this while. I did not save money. Then I was selling shoes, footwear for 4,500 naira, where I would also go pick them, go sell online. That she reminded me of how much effort I had put into this thing, just to ensure that this dream comes true. So why should I settle just because of I needed to please my family relatives? That in the long run, that was not going to make me happy. And I know that I'm not doing anything bad. It's not like I want to abscond. It's not like I want to go do something that would truncate my life. It was something that would actually benefit me, benefit my siblings, it's going to even make me feel more fulfilled. When you wanted something, you put yourself through the sacrifice of seeing to it that thing comes to play. And then that thing resonated with me. I also had friends. I had a lot of friends that I talked to. I had people that whenever I'm down, whenever maybe I receive a terrible backlash, I would call them, I would cry to them. After I cry, they would talk to me, they would encourage me, even though they could not come around me. Even though it was just over the phone, chat with them, call them, this is it, this is what is going on. They would support me, and then they would make me feel, that was how I was able to gather the strength to carry on.
Wow, that's a good one. So finally, the last question I have is, how were you able to manage the disapproval from your family relatives, and how were you able to manage, to get on their good side again, and they were able to, understand everything and just let you be and do you at the end of the story?
Okay, so for me, I would say maybe I applied a bit of wisdom. I knew when to stand my ground. I stood my ground to the last. I stood my ground. I was not rude about it. When they said, don't do this, don't do that, I walked up to the oldest person I was staying with us. And then after we had concluded the meeting, when elders are talking, you are not to talk, according to our culture. So they all said everything. This is what I want you to do. You have to drop this, you have to drop that, you have to drop. Everybody said their own. I explained that I've already purchased the phone. They said I should leave the phone. I should forfeit it. I said I'd get their donation. They said I should leave it. I should not do this. I should not do that. So what I did was that the next morning, everybody had gone to their house. The next morning, I went to meet the grandpa that was staying with them, and I sat beside him. I told him, this is it, this is it, this is it. While I was in my university, I feel like people are just scared that you don't know what you are doing, but you need to let people know that you know what you are doing. Your clarity, always know how to state your clarity. So I told him that while I was an undergraduate, I was working 5 jobs and sustaining myself and taking care of my younger sister. And I was doing that. It didn't affect my grades, it didn't affect anything, and I was able to live responsibly. I mean, if I could do that as an undergraduate, now that I'm a master's student, it shows that I've even mastered the act of learning to survive. Then I was even scared that I may not be able to come up with the school fees at once. That was my initial fear, that I may not be able to come up with the school fees at once. But when I was told that nobody was going to support me, my head,
double your hustle.
Thank you. My head had to work to know that I have to raise this money. And then and there, I knew I needed that master's degree, not just because of the fulfillment of owning a second degree. It was also a way of buying myself some freedom to go achieve every other thing I needed to achieve. Yeah, it may seem like maybe I was trying to, but I knew deep down that was the only way. I knew I was not just going to up in from staying there to getting married, not having something, not seeing to it that I had achieved everything I wanted to achieve. I love every of my family member, and I understand, but I know already that I just don't want to be a caged orphan and then they will just hand over to a man. No, I wanted to own my life. I wanted to own my story. I wanted to stay in my reality and make sure to see to it that everything I wanted to do, I was going to do it. So I knew already that I wanted it and I was going to go for it. I wasn't doing it for all the wrong reasons. I was doing it because I needed to expand my business horizon. I needed to grow. I needed to see myself grow. I needed to do a whole lot more. And the passion was really burning, and it is still burning in me. But if I had to stay with, there was really never going to be any time to do it. In fact, then my business suffered. I was almost closing business. But I thank God because I was able to go through that phase and come out fine.
Wow.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, Tolani. You've shared a lot, and it's quite glaring that God has been faithful after all that. And I would just like to, quickly summarize everything that you have said, so that our viewers can have a clear view of. Yes, they do, but I just want to go down some of the key points of what I have learned from Tolani's story today, and it's something that has really touched me, and I hope that for everyone that is watching this episode today, I hope that everything that you have learned today, you are going to apply them to whatever situation you are going through. So first off, I would just like to say that, Tolani, I'm so sorry that you had to go through all that, and I'm sorry about your mom and dad, and I just want to tell you that I'm proud of you. Having to go through all that, and you did not give up on yourself, you did not give up on life, you did not make excuses that my parents are not there, so I had to just settle with whatever I had. You wanted more and you went for it. So I just want to tell you that I'm so proud of you for doing that. So today you highlighted some point, and you said that you were able to follow your passion. You knew what you wanted, you knew what you were going to do that would make you happy, and you did not let anybody decide that for you. What I want to say to our viewers out there is that your happiness is in your hands. You can't let anybody choose what will make you happy. You already know what will make you happy as an individual. So whatever you know that brings you joy, that gives you fulfillment. Sometimes it's not just about the achievements, it's not about the money you accumulate, it's not about the houses you build, the properties. It's about what gives you joy, and at the long run brings those other things as a plus to you. So in whatever you do in life, yes, I know that this can be very difficult in the society that we live in to follow your passion immediately, to do what makes you happy. You have to settle for other things before you now blend in to do what makes you happy. I just want to say, like the last episode I said, is that do not give up. You have to just keep hoping and working towards it. No matter how little you start, don't give up on your dream, don't give up on your passion, what makes you happy, what you are passionate about. So and that was what Tolani was able to do. And she also said that she pushed herself even when she had no one. There's no excuses for failure, and there's no excuse. If you say, okay, I did not make it in life because of, that's on you. I think that is your own fault. It's nobody's fault. Even if you are disadvantaged in life, the funny thing is you see other people that actually had more disadvantage than you, but they were able to push through. So no matter what, even if you don't have anyone supporting you now, just start something. Just keep pushing you. And if you are a devoted child of God, if apart from even that, life itself, once you start trying, you start working hard, definitely people will see that, okay, this person is putting in effort, and before you know it, favors will start coming, things will start opening. So you don't have to stay at the spot and start giving excuses that, okay, because I don't have this privilege, I have to do this. No, hope more, do more, want more, and you are going to have more. So you also said that family disapproval actually made you experience a lot of difficulty at some points in chasing what you actually wanted to do. And so many, and I believe that a lot of people might actually go through this stage in their family whereby you want to do something, and then your parents or your relatives are saying, okay, no, don't do this, do that, don't do this, do that, do it this way. And you know that, okay, if you do it this way, you believe that if you walk, okay. And she said that, I asked her a very important question: how were you able to stand your ground and at the end of the day gain their favor? And she said she applied wisdom. Wisdom in all that we do is a principal thing. And no matter what, even if your family, your relatives are saying that okay, they want you to do this, they want you to make this decision, and you know that this is what you want to do, you don't have to be rude about it, you don't have to fight anybody, you don't have to be disrespectful, but that doesn't mean you shouldn't stand your ground. You know what you want, state out a point and fight for what you want. Do not relent, keep fighting until you have what you actually want. Do you understand? You don't have to, be rude about it, you don't have to be arrogant, but you know what you want, fight for it. Don't let them decide your happiness, don't let anybody decide what you should do with your life. As long as you know that okay, this path is going to lead a headway and benefit you, and you're on the right path, please just make sure that you apply wisdom in order to get what you want, to do what makes you happy, and also what will make you fulfilled in life. And then Tolani also said that she took charge of her life because she has to be the anchor of her life. Yes, in most cases, we have parents that at some point they have to guide us through a particular stage whereby they have to leave us for us to, they have to trust us enough to know that we are going to, we will be able to make better decisions for ourselves. At some point in life, as an adult, you have to be the anchor of your life. You make decisions, you learn and you unlearn, you do a lot of things all by yourself. So you have to know that your life is in your hands, and whatever decision you have to make, you cannot say at the end of the day, if something doesn't work out, okay, it's because and they said I should do it, but I didn't want to do it. No, you are the anchor of your life. If you allow them to do it, it is your decision. And if you stand your ground and you know what you want, it's still your decision. You are the anchor of your life, whether you allow people to dictate how you live it, or you stand your ground and do what makes you happy and makes you fulfilled. It is your choice. And encouragement goes a long way. When you see someone try, because she said that she wanted someone to actually just encourage and tell you, okay, Tolan, you are really doing well, you are really doing this, and I'm proud of you. As individuals, we have families, we have friends, we have colleagues and all that. Whenever we see somebody putting in effort in whatever they do, at least a little encouragement is not bad. Even if you have to say it just with words, just tell them you are proud of them, just tell them they are doing well. Even if there are some lapses in whatever they do, please don't come with the critics first. Just acknowledge the fact that okay, you are doing well with what you are doing, and I'm proud of you. Encouragement goes a long way. So let's not always be unconscious, or be how will I put it now, but let's not just see it as something that is not important. It is important to actually encourage people around us. And okay, I told you that I learned a lot with everything you said. And okay, she said, okay, yeah, family will always come around. I just want to tell anyone that is going through anything with family issue, and they're like, okay, we want to do this, we want you to do that, and they want to make a particular decision, and you are between the thin line of pleasing your family and losing them at the same time. I just want to tell you that your family can never abandon you. They cannot leave you. Family will always come around no matter what. You are their blood, the bond is still there no matter what. But you have to apply wisdom in everything you do. They will always come around. They cannot give up on you, they cannot disown you, but at the same time, do what makes you happy and do the right thing so that they can be proud of you at the end of the day. If Tolani had said, okay, I want to do this, and at the end of the day she failed in that mission, they'll be like, oh, but we told you. But as long as you are convinced within you that okay, you're on the right path, and you know that God is with you in that journey, and definitely they'll come around and know that okay, I think we were wrong about it the first time, and we are so happy, we are so proud of you. So I've been able to learn a lot, and I hope that everyone that has watched today's episode have been able to learn a lot from Tolani's story. So we'll be wrapping things up now, but before we do that, Tolani, we actually have sponsors, like some vendors actually sponsor the Talk with Baby to encourage our guests that come on the show for coming to share their story. So and today actually the vendor that is actually sponsoring today's own is my vendor. Yes, Home's Bath Kitchen. Yeah, they sell all these mugs, plates, and kitchen delights, kitchen accessories particularly. So we just want to give you something little to thank you for coming on the show and sharing your experience.
Thank you.
We'll be bringing okay.
Wow.
We usually use this box to give out our gifts, so we just like to please manage.
Thank you.
Yes, I think just help us manage the little gifts and We are so happy to have you, and to all the viewers out there, thank you so much for taking your time to watch this episode, and I'm sure that you've been able to learn a lot from this episode. And I just want to thank our guests once again for coming. We are so happy to have you. And Home Sparks Kitchen, like I said, that's my vendor, that's my business. And okay, I'm thanking myself.
Okay.
Because I usually just say shout out to every vendor that sponsor our guests. So you can follow Home Sparks Kitchen for your kitchen accessories, your plates, your mugs, and very luxurious plates and mugs and every other thing you want to get in your kitchen. So on a final note, is there anything you'd like to just share to learn with our viewers?
Okay, first off, I would like to thank Home Sparks Kitchen. Thank you for the gift. It really means a lot to me. It does. And to the viewers out there, I would like to say everything you want to do, keep doing it. Build support systems for yourself. Encourage people. Put out words to encourage people so that when you are down, those words come back to you. They tell you these things. They remind you of things you've said back then to encourage them. They encourage you with the same words. Because I know then I used to encourage my baby sister, and she's very young. I used to encourage her that I wanted her to, put her good foot at everything. She shouldn't give up on anything she wants to do, even if it seems like she may not have the same opportunities as when our parents were alive. And I remember then when I was told never to come back home for going to write my entrance exam, and then my sister would call me. She would ask me, I hope you are reading, I hope you are not allowing it to affect you, make sure you pass your exam, make sure you pass this exam. She was even I was looking at her like this is a very small girl. I would tell her, if she sees that I'm crying, she would tell me that, why are you crying? Okay, she will allow me to talk. Then she would tell me that, okay, I want you to go and read now, please read. She would find a way to message me, to ask me if I'm reading. And she told me that I shouldn't bother about anybody saying that they're going to throw me away, that I should just make sure that I passed the exam. I should just pass that. And it's meant a lot to me coming from her, looking at her as someone that I used to encourage, and she was the one babying me at that point. It meant a lot to me.
Wow.
So just learn to encourage people, build support system. Nobody is too young, nobody is too small to talk to. Everybody you talk to, you will draw strength from them when you need it as well. Yeah.
Thank you so much, Tolani. So I just want to say that if you would like to be a guest on the show, The Talk with Rebby, just send a mail to rebecca234@gmail.com, or you can send me a DM on Instagram at pricelessrebel. You can call me on 08167055537. If you will also love to be a sponsor in sponsoring our guests, you can reach me through those contact lines I just mentioned, and my Instagram page as well. So thank you so much for joining us today on The Talk with Rebby. See you on another episode. Bye for now. Bye.